Hello and welcome. I know that it's about 7:10, so I'm running just a few minutes late if you saw my post. My husband was doing yard work and it was just a little too noisy to go live yet, so you could hear everything up here. But welcome. So I am gonna get my computer loaded so I can check comments there and then also check comments there. But look at this amazing wreath stand that my husband made me. I love it. I am hoping it's going to go really smoothly with this, and I do not have to worry about anything tipping over anymore. All right. If you're just joining, I would love to know where you are joining from. Let's see, I'm trying to see if it's gonna go live here. Here it is. All right. So that one's probably a little bit behind, but welcome. So today we are actually going to be, if you saw any of my posts regarding a workshop that I did, like I held an in-person workshop, we're actually gonna be making that same wreath here tonight. So super excited. If you saw some of the posts, they all had different kinds of ribbon, and for this one I'm going to be using just a basic, this is a 4-inch ribbon, and if you're wondering where I got this one came from the Craig Bachman warehouse sale. And if you live anywhere near Northern Illinois, Craig Bachman warehouse, it's a wholesaler. His warehouse is in Frankfort, Illinois, and twice a year he hosts a warehouse sale that's open to the public, and it's absolutely one of my favorite places to get ribbons. So I stock up there on my ribbon because it's very reasonable. All right, so for the bow, oops, let's hope I don't knock that over. But anyway, for the bow, I do want my tails, my bow's gonna go right here, and I do want my tails kind of hanging down a little bit. Like this one's actually gonna kind of flow through and then hang down. So we're gonna go do that. I will measure that really quick so you guys can see how long that tail is. That tail is 24 inches. So tail for 24. And then I'm gonna pull it. I'm actually gonna hand tie my bow with this. And so what I will do, because it's really hard to keep the camera on this and then also my table where my bow maker is, and I just decided that it's easier to do that. But welcome if you are joining us, or if you could just let me know where you're joining from, that would be wonderful. I'm always curious. So my wreaths have been all over the United States. People have ordered, and it's just fun. I'm like, I've got to start keeping track of which states my wreaths are going to. So, all right, so this is 6 inches. So that's all that is. And then I'm just twisting, and I will make sure that the other bow is the same length. And again, I'm just doing this one by hand. All right, and just really quick, not everybody is home in my house, but I am up in a loft, and 3 out of the 5 of us are home. All right, so I'm gonna do this. So my girls, they are off at basketball training, but they might be getting home when this is going on, so we will see. All right, so all I'm doing is just hand doing my bow. That's all it is. I just flip it in, pull out. There's tons of ways to hand do the bows. All right, so this one with what we're doing with this, I only want 2 loops. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And then I'm going to take floral wire that I had, that I placed over here, and it was all out, must have fell. But I'm just using floral wire. It is just a 20-inch floral wire. And I'm gonna go, but anyway, you guys, it's been a while since I've had the chance to go live. For those of you who don't know, I am Julie with Driftwood Hill Design, and I do not do this full time. So during the school season, I work at a school, and I used to be a classroom teacher, and I am no longer a classroom teacher, but I always say it's all the fun and not the responsibility of grading papers anymore. And the weekly newsletters going home to parents. So it's all the fun because I get to work with the kids still. All right, and then all I'm gonna do for my tail is just cut that the same way. So during the school year, it gets really crazy for us. And I have decided that during the summer on Tuesdays, I am going to be going live. This one happens to be at night. I'm gonna try to move it a little bit earlier in the day. But Tuesdays do seem to be the best days for us, for me to be consistent. And then I'm hoping that when the school year picks up, I can still do Tuesdays as well. I'm going live, but if you are catching the replay, please do #replay and let me know where you're watching from. All right, sorry. It's all I'm doing is I just push the wire through to the back, and then these are gonna drape. And I want my loops going up and down with this design. All right, that is it until the end with the bow. So I'm just tightened it up a little bit, but that is it. And then next, we're gonna work with these gorgeous picks, or like bushes, kind of spray picks. And I picked these up from Melissa with TCT Crafts. I don't know if she has this exact one still in stock, but if she does, and even if she doesn't and you still want to place an order, make sure that you use Julie15 for 15% off your order with her. And that can be used for at any time. It's not just now, it's not just spring. So for these, what I'm going to do is just basically cut that right there. So I just cut that into 2. And then I want half of it going this way and then half of it kind of going down here. I'm going to take another pick, and that one is going to be extending down through this way. So with this one, we're going to just go ahead and glue it. I did not cut the stem on this, so it can hopefully get a lot of support down through here. Gonna go like that. We will fluff the poppies later. So this one, however, I am cutting. So just using my heavy duty wire cutters to cut it. But did you guys all have it was a long weekend. So did you guys all have a good long weekend? It was really nice. We got stuff done around our house, which was really nice. And then we hung out with some family that we haven't seen in a while. So that was a really nice weekend. That was just, finally, we can get stuff done for ourselves around this house because basketball takes up so much of our time. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love watching my girls do what they love. So, and for our high school one, we're coming to the last summer of club ball. So it's like my husband and I joke, we're like, oh my goodness, we don't know what we're gonna do. And we're gonna have money because it's really expensive. All right, so now this one again, I kind of want to going this way. I am going to just cut it a little bit. If you didn't want to cut it, and what I had people do in my workshop was keep the stem this long, and then we just put a zip tie up here. Either way is totally fine. And what I loved about the workshop, there's so many of them walked in kind of just unsure, like, I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing. And you guys, they all walked away with a piece that they loved and they were happy with. And one of the things that I love doing about them is usually if the group is less than 10, I will let them pick their own bow, and then they make their own bows. And they just have a good time. All right. And if you are a fellow wreath maker, definitely drop your shop in the comments so I can go ahead and follow along on your page. All right, and then those you can do, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can just move the petals a lot. Like that one was overlapping a little too much, so we moved it. Again, the poppies do not have to be perfect right now. We will do some more fluffing when we are all done. But again, one of my favorite places to get supplies is TCT Crafts, and Melissa Card is the owner of that. All right, and then another one of my favorite places, especially if you are into mesh wreaths, is Linda with Sweet Aria Decor. All right. So there we have it. But this summer, we are actually heading south, and I'm gonna be near a Sims Pottery, and I'm super excited because all the wreath makers down in the south, and if you don't know where I'm at, I'm up in northern Illinois, they all talk about Sims Pottery, and you gotta go. So I get to go. Super, super excited for that. All right. And let's see. All right. I don't think there's any questions yet, so that's good. If you do have, I shouldn't say that's good, but you know what I mean. It means I haven't missed any. But if you do have questions, put them in the chat. If I don't see them as they're happening, I will definitely go back to the live when it replays and answer them for you. So, all right. So there we have that. That is just our base greenery. And that's kind of where we are starting. And next up are some blueberries. And you're able to kind of pull them apart and get 3 chunks out of these. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do, is get these. Now these are not always the easiest to pull apart. So let's see if they're gonna be easy, but all I'm doing is pulling. This one's working, this one's working, and this one I'm just gonna be able to just cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that a cut, but those were actually easy. If they do, sorry, I wanted to pick up that little piece of metal because I'm barefoot up here. I don't want that in the bottom of my foot, that would hurt. So when you get, but if you do get them and they're kind of, if they pull apart too much or the leaves come away from the berries, all you have to do is take some floral wire and group them back together, but it's not a big deal. So you're gonna have on one stem, you're gonna have a group that is longer and kind of has the maidenhair fern to go along with it. So these two are gonna be over here and here. So this is kind of what I want to start with first in my pick, because it's going to kind of guide everything else. And I'm just going to trim this one down just a little bit. So guys, tomorrow I'm super excited. I have one of my friends was like, can you make some pots for me? And no, she's crafty herself. And I was like, well, do you just want to come to my house and make the pot? So she's doing patio pots. And so she came over, she picked out all the flowers, and then I sprayed them all with a clear coat over the weekend. And then she's going to be coming over tomorrow in actually making the pots. So she's somebody that's attended my wreath workshops here. And so I know she loves doing it. So I was like, well, just come and let's have some fun. And she can make them. And then that way she gets to take pride and say that she made them. All right, so we have kind of this one down over here. Now, I am going to say this piece, it's kind of a little funky right now. I might actually pull that at the end and like by itself and position it back in there. So I have 3 of these and I want 3 up here and 3 down here. But I also want to make sure that they're spaced out okay. And so I'm going to trim this down. And are you guys glue pot or glue guns? I am a glue pot person. So I just like taking my stems and dipping it in. So I have that. This one's so what I like doing when I'm working with groups of 3 is kind of doing an end and an end, and then I'll position the middle. That I do want to go up. And 2, if you do have a clump of flowers, so some of these are going to get moved down, but when we have a clump right here of the poppies, we can just trim them down and re-glue them in different spots. All right, so next one, the last clump. I'm just turning this down. So it's summer. Does anybody have any fun summer plans? Ooh, that is hot. That is dripping. Try to make sure that I don't step in that on my way back. All right. So again, what I'm doing is I am just looking. I know I was standing in front of the camera, but that's so I could see it. So I just want these spaced out evenly. And these are more, the berries are more along the inside. Oh, we have that, and then we're gonna do the other stem. So, all right, and I'm just gonna pull these apart. All right. So we have, remember this is the longer one with that maidenhair fern. So I do want that one to be more down here. And with the tail, it's going to kind of come back here. I might have it just kind of go behind and drip through or peek through kind of from back there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and place this long one first. All right, well, it's about dinner time. So is anybody having anything good for dinner? I had made some hamburgers and I told my husband, I'm like, they're in the fridge ready for you to grill. And then I will eat when I get off of here. All right. So again, I'm just trimming down this. There's really no difference between the other 2 berries on that stem. So if you're a wreath maker and you're watching, what kind of wreaths do you make? Do you make mesh wreaths, grapevine wreaths? So I will tell you that I had a request to do a mesh wreath, and so I did a mesh wreath, and guys, I loved it. Loved it. But then I was like, I cannot take up any more room in the house with mesh. So, all right. So those are about even. And then this last one, is going to come, remember I want to keep my tail kind of right about here. So I want to make sure to just kind of place this one first. So this one's going to go behind this peach poppy. And if you're not a wreath maker, have you made a wreath before? Have you attended like a live workshop? All right, so there we have that, and everything is looking good. I could probably actually move this a little bit more. So one thing about me, I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to this type of stuff with the wreath. And so I want it to be exactly in the middle. So I think for this, I'm just going to move the tail right now. I can move that. All right. And then that can go a little bit down. And then the tail will go back in here. Can anybody relate to what I just did? I mean, that's one thing that I do love about wreath making, because you can just pull it out and redo it. So, all right. After that, I have two things. Well, I shouldn't say two things. I have actually three things left to put in. So Melissa carries I don't know if she has sold out of these, but it's a mixed greenery fern bush. So it's all different kinds of ferns. And so in the wreath, we used one of those. And then she also carries these amazing cosmos. And right now they're looking pink. You guys, these are more peach. They're more peach. They kind of go with this. And we can use those in here as well. They match. And then the insides of this are the coral, which those are the coral. So it's like the peach and coral cosmos. And these come, I think, in they had like 12 stems a piece on here. And so we just used half. So there was 6. So that's actually what this is, just half of a stem left over. And then this was from one of the greenery bushes that I just pulled apart when people needed some extras. Because every once in a while you just need an extra in a certain spot just to get it like perfect, like as I was doing with that. So we're going to go ahead and start with these ferns, and we're going to be placing them along the back edge. So the back edge, and then a little bit in through here as well. And so with these ferns, you can kind of see, I will start grouping them by like kinds, because I want different kinds throughout the design. I don't want to put all the maidenhair together. All right, so I'm going to use a table over here and just separate them over here. But I'll tell you, I think it's 3 different kinds of ferns that come on this. Yes, 3 different kinds. So I'm separating them, and then what I'm going to be using is the maidenhair ferns first. So if we're not sure what maidenhair ferns are, it's these. These are just a little bit bigger, and I want to make sure that I have them all the way around the outside. And sometimes they'll come 2, 3 on a stem. I don't want to do 3. That's a little too long, so I'm going to pull that one off. And this one's really going to depend, honestly. I'm going to leave it, but I'm going to put it more towards the back here so it can kind of fill in. But you can cut this one down as well to just one maidenhair fern. So I'm going to go ahead and start there. We'll go. All right. So maidenhair ferns are going to get kind of spread out. Now I don't know how many I have, so let me count. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 more, so there's 6. So I'm gonna plan for 3 at the top, and then 3, when I say at the top, I mean up here, and then I'm gonna plan for 3 down here. And it's really nice just adding a little bit of different texture with all the different ferns. All right, so this one, they're kind of different sizes too. So some a little bit bigger, some a little bit longer. I'm gonna go ahead and put that one right here. What I like about this one is going straight up, and then this one is filling in between these 2 bow loops, really nice. So we'll go ahead and get that in. So our summer is usually busy for you guys, or do you get to slow down a little bit in the summers? I'll tell you, I've been making some local people, okay, this is pulling apart, but I've been making some local people some hanging baskets that are faux, like faux hanging baskets, because they're tired of the heat killing them by July, and they're like, I would rather just spend money on a really nice faux container. So I've been doing that. I've also been working, I have a wreath in my Etsy shop that's like an everyday, can be an everyday wreath, but then it can also work for like wedding decor or home decor around. And so I've been making a lot of those as well. So hello, Tina. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you again. I'm finally back and have time to go live. So I'm hoping to be consistent with my lives on Tuesday. I'm hoping to do it earlier. It's just that today we had just some appointments that I had scheduled that I had to get out of the way before I could really begin summer. So but I'm hoping to move it to a little bit earlier in the afternoon. So we're just putting ferns out. But Tina, this was a wreath that I recently did at an in-person workshop. And I had some product left over, and I'm like, well, I might as well make one live, and I'll be able to put it in my Etsy shop as well. It's actually, well, I can't say that because last year's spring wreath that we did for the workshop as well, I loved. And that, again, that was all products from Melissa with TCT Crafts. But this one, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really, really like this one. And I think it's because it's colors that I wouldn't normally gravitate towards. So even though I love like the coral colors, I am not a big yellow person in my home decor. Although I do have elements of it, but this, it just pops. So, and what I like about this, because there's so many colors in that wreath, you got to keep the bows simple. Got to keep the bows simple. I definitely didn't want a bow where there was several different kinds in there. All right, so that one also had three like maidenhair ferns on it, so I just pulled one off to use it. And this one's gonna go kind of back in here. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3 maidenhair ferns, and then 1, 2, and I'm gonna do another one over here. And see these, can you see, guys, see that? It's kind of bending up, and so all I'm going to do for that is use my steel pick machine. If you don't have a steel pick machine, the wooden floral picks work just as well. Now this one also has some curve to it when they hang there, so I've got to make sure that it's going to hang okay. over here. And so by having to make sure that it hangs okay over here, I kind of put it up here, and then you can kind of see it is curving down. Now, since I do have some extra, you can kind of see I've got made in hair fern here, and then over here, but I'm gonna put one right there since I have an extra one. Actually, I have two. I just found another one. Steel pick machine on that. Tina, what's been keeping you busy? So, in that, oh, thank you. Yes, Melissa does have amazing products. She does. In fact, I did prom bouquets for my own daughter and a couple of her friends, or one of her friends, I can't remember. And I ordered some product from her for those. And again, just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. All right, so we have the Maiden Hair Fern. Now, I'm not really sure. Anybody know what these are called? What type of fern these are called? So, all right. And then, again, these are kind of like spread out. There's 2, 3 on the stem. I'm gonna pull this apart. And the reason I'm pulling these apart, I can always add them where I need to, but I do need some to kind of go around and inside this bow. So if I can keep just a few of these, it will help. And again, I'm putting these just kind of along the back, and I'm going to step back here with you. I want to see kind of where there are some gaps, and I can kind of see like right here needs a gap. So that's going to go in. There's 2 of them. I'll just kind of spread them out just a little bit. This actually can go more in the back as well. And then Poppy can go over there, and I need to see like how many of these I have. So the one, okay, so there's only 2 of these stems in there. So I'm going to pull one apart. Now it could be, like I said, this was one I opened at the workshop, and we pulled some out to fill in spots on other people's. So there really could be more in the actual bush. But if you want any of the products, I can go to Melissa's site and see if she still has them and either message them to you or put them in the comments here. All right, so we have 2 of these left. And I think I'm gonna go right here is a good one. And then, well, let me see. I'm trying to see if one's smaller than the other. It's not. I think this one's gonna go kind of just up in here because I need something to break up this group of greenery. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I am gonna put a steel pick on this one just because it's such thin wire in these. So, but I do need something to break this up. Now I just need it to go down into the grapevine. Sometimes you gotta be a little forceful. All right, so there we have that. I do have that Maiden Hair Fern. That might help. We'll see. All right, so that's kind of breaking up the light greenery there. I'm gonna do another steel pick on this last fern. Well, I shouldn't say last. It's taken a while, so to kind of like go through this. We have one more fern to go through. So this one, these made in here, so all I'm doing is standing back. Like when I design, I just kind of like stand back. And where do I need? It's probably not the best. Like if I was to actually make a multiple of this, you know, I'll take pictures and try to get the placements as correct. But honestly, if I put this one in, and I think I have product for one more, if I was to make another one, you guys, all I do is I take a picture of this, and then you'll laugh. I stick it on, here I can show you. This is, if I was to make a multiple, then I just stick it right here, and then I would work off of that, making sure that I would get like the sunflower placements correctly, but these would be like the poppies. So I'd make sure that I would do that. However, if I was to do this as a double door wreath, and I knew that I was going to be selling this as a double door, they would be on 2 easels side by side for this. Just because when I would do this one with these ferns, with pulling apart the bush and all of that, and you know, 3 different types of ferns, it would get a little tricky if I had to go back and do a multiple. All right, so we have, again, we have these, they're groups of 3. I'm going to be pulling them off, and when I pull them off, I'm pulling the bottom one. Pulling the bottom one. So 1, 2. And when we did this for the wreath workshop, I just kind of like told them, like, here's kind of, you know, your ferns, use it to fill in as needed. You can pull them apart. So everybody, what they did was they used these ferns as they needed. So hang on, I need to find that spot so I don't step in it because my feet are, I'm barefoot. All right, now this one I'm going to kind of make, kind of come over here. And just play peekaboo. That actually might make this one be okay. And oh, I didn't realize those were so bendy. Oh, I like these leaves even more because you can bend them. I didn't realize that. So I kind of just like fixed that. All right, and I like how this is just kind of coming down and a little bit wispy. And then, so I have there. Have this one kind of, I think, come out down over here on this side, but trim it up. So, all right. So guys, one of the favorite things about summer is ice cream. Do you guys have good ice cream places around you? And what's your favorite kind of ice cream? All right, so then I make another, have one of those other ferns come this way, down a little bit. And I don't know if you can hear that noise, but that's my little guy. He just came in from outside. And he is upstairs. All right, so then I really like this is kind of going in and then out. And then I'll be able to, actually I kind of actually like that, how it is with a little bit, but we'll see once I'm all done, see if I like it. All right, and then I have more of these. I do have more, but I think for right now, oh no, I can probably use one here. Could use a little bit different texture there. But I think after that, I'm gonna stop. So, go ahead and cut this. There we have it. There's that. And I am just gonna check, make sure, no, okay, good. All right, so we have that. I still need to put some around this bow, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be cutting some of these poppies and putting them around that bow as well. Or like this, you can just move up in there, which might not be a bad idea. If I have some more, if I can move this one. I didn't want to move that one just because they're the same color. Although, maybe I will do this. Nope, this is going to go up there. All right. You guys, I have some real poppies. I actually bought them, and our local Menards store was carrying those and ranunculuses. The ranunculuses the rabbits are eating. I'm so annoyed. I'm like, ugh. But they're staying away from the poppies, and they look really pretty. And those, I believe, are a perennial kind, so those will come up every year. The ranunculuses were not. Those were only annuals. All right, so we have that. Now, I have to see if I want to incorporate any of the cosmos, which I kind of think that I do. And let me look. So some of the cosmos have a bud with them, and then some do not. And so that one does not. I've got 3 with and 3 without. So I'm going to go ahead and do a bud. Now, Melissa will tell you she does not like these leaves. And so all you have to do is just pull them off. And I will be honest with you, it's not that I don't mind the leaves. However, I don't want them in with this type of greenery because they are a little bit more, I would say like a real light green, like a light blue green. And they just don't blend well more with, I don't know, the yellow green, I guess I call this one. All right, so we'll put that one in there. And again, we have 6 of these to use. So we have 6 of those to use, so we want them kind of spread out. So 3 towards the top, 3 along the top, and then 3 along the bottom. Although you could probably do 4 and 2. It really is just your preference. All right. Another thing that I'll do is I'll take and bend those so they kind of stick out a little bit more. Maybe have that one go up a little bit more. I do need to trim it. Glue it. Guys, I'm loving my new stand. I can't wait to go down and tell my husband. So, can't wait. So there's, like, as you can see, like there's a lot of these flowers that are clumped together. I can already tell you that unless I can get them spread out better or move down, like maybe this one can come down here a little bit, they are going to get trimmed and moved. Okay. I'm gonna place just down a little bit more. So it's just kind of peeking up. Oh, and then I just pulled it off the stem. Oh no. There it is. All right, if that happens, just glue it back on. It'll stay. I just glued it back on. All right. I also think I'm gonna end up moving this one. So, sorry, I think the older girls are home now. So you might hear some voices, but that's just because they're home from basketball. All right, so that is good. I have that. Just need to spread these out a little bit more. Spread those. Oh, those are really fun. All right, so spread those out. Move them. I'm going to stand back here, kind of near where you guys are at, and look, do I need another cosmos? I do. The problem is, I feel like it needs to go right here, where this pink one is. Oh. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut this. Alright, just cut off. I'm going to save that because remember I said I need some for bows. And alright, so this one has a bud on it too, so I do want to make sure that the bud is kind of going to go up. And I'm going to trim that down just a little bit more before I put the glue on it. If there's anything in particular that you guys want to see, I thought about coming on here live and showing you how I do kind of like the containers, you know, for the patio pot containers with all the faux flowers. I thought that might be really fun. So if that's something that you want to see, let me know. It's so funny because I was like, I'm going to do this. And I'm seeing all the other wreath makers are like transitioning to fall. My stuff for the most part is out, down in the basement. But this, like up here, I've got Christmas sitting over here to the left of this wreath. So I have some stuff already ready to go. But I was like, I have to do something summery. I just have to. I can't just skip to fall. Like, I'm not there. I just get out of school. And you know what? That's okay, because I know I'm not the only one. No, I'm not the only one who is, I'm not there yet. So if you're not there yet and you're a wreath maker, let's be friends. Because I really want my summer. All right. So this one I have, I'm just checking to see. All right, so I have one with a bud left and then two without a bud. So I want to use the one with the bud. I might as well take care of that now. I want to use the one with the bud right here because that's going to help elongate and draw your eye up. So, all right. I want that one to kind of go, I mean, if I bend it out maybe just a little bit, just a tiny bit, and it can kind of go there. Trim it down. Again, it's just a lot of trimming, but I always make sure that I don't trim down too fast. I'll keep it longer before I will trim it down. All right. Let's see. I'm guessing burgers are done. I just heard my husband say, any good? Oh, all right. So there is that. And then I have one more with the bud and one without. think I want the bud one to go here. Oh no, I don't have the bud. Oh, these are just two without. So I do want this to kind of fill in right here. And I'm going to tweak this to have it come out. Anybody has any questions? If you're watching the replay, please just do #replay and put your question there so I know. But if you do the #replay, then I know that you weren't on the live to be able to answer, for me to answer your question. And I need to go back. All right. We have one left. One left. And if there's, like I said, if there's anything in particular that you want to see a design of, don't forget we got fall coming up. We have Christmas coming up. So I am planning on teaming up with a few places that sell supplies. And so some of the lives are going to be using their supplies. I know like this one's using like Melissa's, but this was from a workshop that I did. And if you would be interested in kind of maybe like a craft along, Amy from Mountaintop Wreath Co. and I, we did a fall crafting. It was like 2-3 days long, and so we did that. That was really fun. That was inside a private Facebook group. All right, now I do have that. However, I really wish I would have had another one here. And guess what? I do. But this one, for some reason, the bud came off. It must have come off at the workshop. But I just cut that off. You can't even tell. And then I'm going to put that one down here. I guess that's why I always buy extra supplies. Because I feel like there's always one spot where you just need one more thing. All right. So we have that, and we are done, except for kind of spreading out those poppies. And what I don't like is this poppy right here. So I'm going to trim that as close as I can down to the branch down there. Trim that. Now you can kind of see the grapevine through there, and that's fine. I don't mind this here. I don't mind that. Just kind of spreading these out. Those poppies. Spread them out. All right. So this one is going to kind of bend like towards the back, so it's just in a little bit more. It was protruding too far for what I was liking. Okay, now what we're gonna do is take, now these did not come from Melissa. These actually came from Michael's in their spring collection, and they're the pathos. So we're gonna use those. I brought these already cut up from the Wreath Workshop, but they're just stems at Michael's. And we're going to use these to kind of fill in, and then especially around the ribbon area for that. And then don't forget, I have 2 of these poppies, coral and peach, that I can use to fill in. And honestly, I think I'm going to have to do, can you guys see this? This is kind of where I think they should probably end up in there. You know what? I'll just take care of that right now. And for this one, my steel picks are not long enough. For these, they're not long enough. So I'm going to go ahead and just use a floral pick on these. And I'm pretty sure I need this one to go up here. Okay. So let me just put, oh, wax, where are you? the whole thing of it. Okay, I guess I don't. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this in here. I've got to go find, it probably all went to the wreath workshop. So I need to go find that. But then I'll place that there. I'll do the floral pick on this one. I'm just not going to put glue on it until I can find the wax that goes around that, the wax paper, floral tape. I call it wax paper because it's sticky and it's waxy. Okay, but there you have it. All right, that's better. This can kind of go up here a little bit, but you can kind of see I have a hole here. I have that hole here, and that's what we're going to be using these for. And I could probably use one right up there as well. And these, like I said, I just cut these to different lengths because I wasn't sure what people would need at the workshop. All right. One of the things I do like about these is I will bend them out just to come out a little bit so you can see more of the top part of the leaves. All right, so there. I'm going to bring one here. We're getting there. This is like the finishing touch. I was like this, telling people it's kind of like the sprinkles. You're just filling in. Nope, I need that to come through a little bit more. Sometimes it's going to cooperate, sometimes it's not. Come on. All right, there we go. All right, so that's there. Kind of put one here. Again, I'm just spacing these out so they're not like so, like where your eye might be like, well, where's the other one? Bend that just a little bit. And then I'll just end with another small one over there. Let's see. Here's a small one. But for those of you who love color, this is a stunning everyday wreath with all of this color in there. And again, I just like the more of a neutral bow, you know, where it's not coral. It's a little bit like blending in. I will tell you, I have this ribbon as well. This is a D. Stevens ribbon, and if you still wanted to continue with a pop of color, this is gorgeous as well. It's literally all of the colors that are in there, but that's a gorgeous one as well to use for the bow here. All right, so kind of have those spread out here. Now I'm going to put one a little bit right there. And then, of course, I'm never, so when you kind of design, you know, unless it's a wreath that you have made over and over and over and over again, I don't have to do this, but what I will do is when it's a wreath that I haven't like made before or have only maybe made a couple of them, I will take and hang this actually on my front door. And then I stare at it for a couple days and figure out where I might need something to go. And remember when I said I might need something and I saved some of those fern pieces and I saved one of these? That's because I want this to go right here. Along with this, I actually have two of these. Oh, I'm going to kind of have this go right in there. All right, I just need to do steel picks on these. I have to be careful because remember, these like to bend. So I need to make sure it's gonna bend okay. And all that means is I have to just get up a little bit higher. All right. There, and then I'm gonna go ahead, put this one there. But again, I need to do steel picks on these. How many here have a steel pick machine and love it? So I bought one off of Marketplace and it did okay. It worked when I picked it up. It worked. And then, I don't know, one of the things broke in it or it wasn't there and it was kind of, it would work, but it wasn't the greatest. And then when Hobby Lobby was putting those on clearance, because we were on our way somewhere for basketball, and I said, we have to stop. Oh no, not basketball. We were on our way to spring break, and we were driving to Florida. And we stopped at a Hobby Lobby in Southern Illinois, and they had one of the ones on clearance, and I was so excited. I spotted it. I was like, oh, is that what I think it is? Is that because I'd seen all the wreath makers and the, you know, finding them, and then up here, they were, all our Hobby Lobbies up here, they were already gone from. Oh, all right. Well, let's see. You know what, that's okay. These two in the back, you can't tell, but they're crisscrossed. Like there's one down here that kind of should be going out, it's going up. And the one that's like up here is this one going down. And that's okay. And then I'm going to do another one of these, just kind of right in there. But that probably, finding the new steel pick machine was probably my favorite find of the year. Totally made. I was like, hey, this is totally making. It literally traveled all the way down to Florida with us. And all the way back. All right. So pull this one out just a little bit more, like that. All right, so then that's kind of keeping, I call it that crescent moon shape. And of course, you know, you always got the glue strings. Now I need to come and put some of this down at the bottom. And I know I want one right here. I think I want a little bit longer one. All right, so that'll be good right there. It's not there. I'm going to stick one here. Although, yeah, bend these out a little bit. And we'll do another one under there. So I would get, oh, here we go. I can show you what the stem looks like. I have a couple in here. So here is what one of the stem looks like. It's longer because I cut them down. But you can see there's two, and each one has 4. So there's 8 stems that you can use on those. And then I'm just looking for ones that I've already used, so I can use those up and get those out of my scrap bin. How many people have a scrap bin? And then I posted, I was like, should I just get rid of this when I was like cleaning up in the winter? I was like, should I just get rid of this? And everybody was like, no, save it. All right. So that's going to go in there. I do want to just bend that out. Again, you want that pretty side of the leaves to really be kind of like sticking out. There we go. And then I think I'm gonna do, I don't know. I'm just gonna go over right here is where this one's gonna go. In front of the ribbon tail. All right. Again, just bend that out just a little bit. Now, remember when I said I kind of need to go around in here. And so for here, we're going to use a couple of these. All right. I'm just going to move the bow and kind of stick that one down in there. So, and then once I kind of get this done, we should be good to go. Okay, burning myself on that. Don't need to do that. All right, because I just want that down here. All right. And then I've got the poppy here. We are not baking. All right, so I do want a little one to come into there too. All right. Then I think that might be it. So you guys, one of my girls snuck into her bedroom, and I have no idea how she did it because I didn't see her. That I must have been like too zoomed in because her bedroom's right on the other side of this wall. I can hear her in there. Not really sure when she snuck by me. There we go. Now I use those. I was like, I do have those too, but we use them down there. So this yellow one, we're gonna move kind of up there into the center. Pull this one up a little bit more. But I think we have it, you guys. So, hello. So there we have it. No, we do not have it. I can see it right here. It's going to drive me nuts. Let me see if I can. It might be okay. All right. Might be okay. If it's not gonna be okay, once I take it to the door, all I'm gonna do is get another maidenhair fern and stick it back there. Or, I don't think, no, actually we'll use this. I found this. This was on the floor. I'm not sure if it's just from the extra supply bin or I dropped it. And then we will go up there. Honestly, I don't think most people would even notice, but I do, because I have like that attention to detail. So, hello, you guys. How are you doing? It's Lizer, right? Lizer. So, and you guys, Lizer also has supplies. So, if you're not following them, please follow them because they are, both of their accounts are here. Good. Very good. So, but there we have it. And I think, oh, I didn't cut the tails. So with this, when we were in the, oh, there she goes. I saw her. There, fishtailed. Everyone there went with fishtail. It just really was that nice finishing edge, like to the wreath. And if you, or I should say finishing edge, but like the touch, like a finishing, I'm gonna cut this one just a little bit more. It's a little too long for my liking. But, all right. So there we have it. Now, if you use like a thicker ribbon, like that D. Stevens ribbon, like if you use that on this wreath, they sometimes the ribbon doesn't want to stay. Like this one has a nice thick edge. It's just the RG ribbon company that we used for that, but it still has a good enough ribbon. But if not, what you can do is just take a little floral wire and kind of just tack the ribbon tail in there to keep it going. But I'll bring this up closer and you guys can kind of see that gorgeous color all in there. Again, just really fun, everyday wreath. And honestly, this could go spring, honestly, through fall. So just a beautiful everyday wreath. And again, it's nothing I would have chosen because of the yellow. My initial thought was, when I found these, to pull the yellow out and just kind of let it go with the coral and the peach and the blue. But then I made the sample one and I was like, oh, nope, I love it. I'm keeping the yellow one in. So, but you guys, if you have any questions, just let me know. You can always message me on Facebook and I will get back to you, or Julie at driftwoodhilldesign.com. You can email me and I will get back to you. But if you're not following along, I'd love to have you follow along. And if you want to keep in touch with email, I'm not spamming people like every day with email. My goal is once a week. So, and I said, that's my goal. My goal is once a week. So that is it. If you have anything that you know that you want to see coming up on a live, let me know too. Just let me know in the comments and I'd be happy to. If you guys want to see how I do those outdoor planners, I know you can go back and watch some of the reels, you know, with them. I've got one where I can show you that is finished in a reel, and then you'll see me spraying the flowers a lot because I do clear coat them, especially when they're going to be patio flowers and basically sit in the sun all day. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad you were here, and next Tuesday, I will see you again next Tuesday. Thanks, guys.